Welcome to No BS AI. Welcome to GPS Kids. I'm your host, Bobby. Wanted to share something real quick. People skills is more important than ever. I have been an engineer, I've been an entrepreneur. What we are working on right now, we are on a mission to help ourselves and the next generation of leaders to become more articulative, to become more public speaking, to become more entrepreneur like. All right. The intention is yes, you got to solve a problem, you got to be a builder. But if you're just being an engineer and solving problems, you will hit a cap. But on the other side, you and I, we have met many people who are more salesy. Now, there is a sweet spot in between where our next generation of leaders can be both builders and leaders. Leaders, sales, public speaking, sharing, articulating their ideas. Now, that's one sweet spot where we all can thrive. Right now, with the AI, everyone is panicking. There is chaos, there is uncertainty. One thing for sure is what we are implementing in our clients, our customers, the people that we are friends with, what we are implementing, the formula that we are implementing and believing in more is 80/20. 80% of automation, 20% of human in the loop. Everything can be automated nowadays with Claude, Replit, our kids, 10-year-old kids. They're killing it right now. They are building these apps. You name it, the idea can be impromptu, right? And you can improv on the idea within 1 hour. And then before you leave the session, you got to speak it, you got to share it, you got to sell it, you got to lead it. Now, there are beautiful things that are happening within our GPS Kids community. It doesn't matter how many kids we are able to impact, but this is something that we are committed to for a long term. Being able to see the transformation in these kids is really fulfilling. My mom is a teacher for 42 years. She retired a couple of years ago. She always she have had this issue with her knees, both the knees. She still used to travel using public transport back home in India, which is not always easy. Um, Earlier, we were not able to, but after it's been a while since we are able to, but she still persisted, continuing that education journey, continue to give back, make an impact. And one thing she told us was, our siblings, my brother and I, we are here in US, and she took pride, she took joy, she took fulfillment in that contribution, right? When you see the kid growing and contributing, it's a different level of satisfaction that you get. So I believe I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, and by no means I'm an expert. Every day we are learning, every day learning for the mind, doing for the muscle. And then you fail, you learn so much more, and then you share it. You're not hiding away from your mistakes or failures, you're sharing it, right? So that's the beauty of GPS. If you want to teach your kids one thing, that's going to be this, right? Get people skills. GPS. Become the greatest problem solver and become the greatest public speaker. The way that I'd like to teach GPS kids about this concept is M&Ms, so that they remember. M&M stand for mind, math, muscle, and money. There are many ways you can make money. Money makes money, yes. And if you don't have money right now to invest and let the money make your money, there are three resources you already have: your mind, your mouth, and your muscle. Now, using your muscle is, think of it like trading your time, right? You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing construction work. You're literally using your muscle to get the job done, the result, and you're trading your time. We don't want our kids to be that. Yes, they have to have the work ethic. Yes, you do to fail. Yes, you do to convert or level up that knowledge into wisdom, because that's the only way you can do, right? But don't get me wrong when I say you're not going to use your muscle, you're going to use it to stay healthy. You're going to use it to uh, use that energy to reach more people and have that human connection. But mind and mouth are the skills, the way that you think, the way that you learn, and the mouth, the way that you sing, articulate. This is more become an artist, right? Being able to speak, share, articulate. That's the biggest skill, right? When I say get people skills, there are two things. You are also part of the people, right? How you communicate with yourself brings you some clarity and calmness, and how you communicate with yourself lets you have more control about what you eat and how you take care of your body, your fitness, right? And how you communicate with others builds those relationships, which in turn makes you more wealthy. That's how you become wealthy and wise, right? By learning and doing, failing, learning. That's a loop. That's how you become wiser, not just knowledgeable, but more wiser. And how you become wealthy is sharing that wisdom. You got to open your mouth, right? So get people skills. GPS, tattoo it if you need to, but I'm believing it. GPS is an identity. It doesn't stress me out living up to a certain standard and always chasing something else. GPS gives me a freedom, a flexible identity that I'm always figuring it out. I'm always growing. I'm always learning. It keeps me humble. It keeps me grounded, knowing that I have to learn so much and I can impact so many more people. All right, that's my rant for today. And seriously, let's help our kids become more articulative by not just teaching them, by being an example. As a dad, as a mom, we got to encourage more dialogue, debates, discussions. Um, if your kid can have more tough conversations, right? More hard conversations. I think it's game over if you can unleash that behavior where they can become more, have more courage to speak their mind, express their thoughts. I think we have done a good job. That's more important than ever. We all talk about mindset, which is really, really, really important. But I don't really understand what mindset is. But one thing I understand is the way that I'd like to explain my kids is to my GPS kids is how you communicate with yourself is a mindset. Yes, we all have bad thoughts. Yes, you all um, look at bad things, hear bad things. Now, how you respond to is your action, right? Between mind and muscle, there is a intermediate operating system, which is your mouth. Now, get people skills, you are part of the people. So, how you communicate with yourself makes you more healthy, makes you more calmer, makes you more confident. And when you have the courage, also build that courage to actually express your thoughts out there, you're going to build those quality relationships with quality people. That's how you become more wealthy too. That's what I'm believing in, keeping it simple. And I'm also being natural here without having any script. I'm still working on so many things, my body language, my um, tonality, my volume, right? My pausing. So there's so many things we are working. It's never going to be perfect, and that's the beauty of this life, right? You will only get better by doing, by trying, and that's what we are doing here at GPS Kids. We are building confident leaders of tomorrow through coding and communication. Yes, they build so much, and more importantly, we give them a platform to share, to communicate, and that's how we build confidence. Confidence is not something either you're confident or not. How confident are you? It all comes down to how many repetitions you have done, evidence, right? Practice. So that's what we are doing here. We are doubling down on talking to and bringing more middle school kids, sixth, seventh, and eighth graders, because before they can get into that high school and hit that puberty and more um, confused with all the knowledge and extremes of the world. We want them to become more expressive, more articulated, be able to communicate with themselves, be able to communicate with their parents, having those conversations, tough conversations, being able to step up to those debates, show up, irrespective of if they feel ready or not, right? You will never be 100% ready. You'll never feel that you have all the information. That's how we are building the reputations to let your mind and body know that it's okay. You can still express, you can still take a shot at it, right? Have these tough conversations, show up, have the courage to say what you're thinking, how you're feeling, what your point of view is. And yeah, that's it. That's all GPS Kids is about. And I'd like to invite you to join me on this mission to help more um, kids to become the leaders of tomorrow. All right. I'll see you on the inside. Thank you so much for your attention. I don't take this lightly. I'm walking the talk, right? I am growing wiser by learning, by doing, by failing, and then I'm sharing, right? That's wealth. Sharing is wealth. Sharing is how you are able to build that trust connection, and that's how you build people skills, and that's how you'll be able to do things together, building your team. All right. I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you so much. I'll see you next.